Joining me now here in Germany, I'm here, he's there. He's the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, getting set to go visit New Orleans and maybe, who knows, measure the drapes there for a later appearance later on this year. The head coach of the NFC South, leading Atlanta Falcons, Raheem Morris, here on the Rich Eisen Show. How you doing, Coach? Good to see you.
I'm doing great, Rich, man. How are you doing? You're over in Germany?
I am indeed. I am jet lagged. If just to be honest, you asked how I'm doing. I don't know what time it is. Normally my show starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time. It's a nighttime show here, so it's all good, man.
You look amazing. You look awesome. So
thank you.
Just take the compliment. You look great on TV.
I appreciate that. And by the way, you guys look awesome. You look great on TV too, from what I've been seeing, certainly of lately. So what? How would you term the last month for your team here, Coach?
It was just the growth mindset of the guys. They've gotten better and better every opportunity we've gotten out there in the grass. And every time we go out to play in a different stadium or our own stadium, it's all about the development of our football team, our guys, our culture, how we want to do our things, our process, and the guys have done such a great job of grasping that, and I love it.
Would you say, is it fair to say when you can pinpoint moments where things started to click or things started to move or get in any way, shape, or form springboarded? Could you go back to that final drive of the Week 2 Monday Nighter in Philadelphia? Is that a fair one, or you have another one in mind, maybe?
It's hard to say when you're talking about the entirety of the team. You can use that as a springboard for the offense and some of the things they were doing that game. And, moving the ball in 2 minutes has really got us to get it to a better state. You've had some moments on special teams. We've been able to go out and win games, doing some things over there. In the following week, being able to score a touchdown on special teams and be able to really move the chains that way. But I think the totality of our best game was probably last week, putting it all together with our pass rush, with our offense, with our special teams making plays. And I thought the control of the game and us being able to go out and really dictate terms was a big part for us.
And did you feel that Cousins needed to just get back in the flow? Obviously, he's not a spring chicken, and he's coming back from an Achilles injury here. He's just been absolutely crushing it. He looks to be in a zone right now, Coach.
We all forget, Rich, that he came off a pretty significant injury.
Right.
And we've had guys come off those injuries before, and we talked about Aaron Rodgers this year, and we talked about Cam and some of the other guys that are all Achilles guys. And those things take a little bit of time. And then to watch him go out there and really get progressively better since Pittsburgh, and really, for me, throughout the whole process of going through OTA days, getting into training camp, feeling more comfortable, being clear to do everything, and going through the process is just almost kind of what I expected. Obviously, when you go out that first game, everybody wants you at tip-top shape and right away be able to go out there and perform at your highest level. It's just not the case. And to watch him get better and better every week has really been something that's really, for us, just in a good mode and a good mood for all of us.
And I imagine the biggest surprise from Kirk Cousins for you then is him quoting Bankroll Fresh prior to a game, right? Does that surprise you in any way, shape, or form, trying to fire up the team?
It doesn't. It really doesn't. If you know the guy, I talked about him yesterday in front of the team, and I talked about early in the week, he's angry at everybody just because he's got a new play, and he's got a bunch of new plays he's trying to learn. He has a Scully on. And then he turns into this joyful, happy guy on a Thursday. And then by the time Friday comes around, he's all angry again. And then he turns into who we call Chains now on Sunday. So for him to turn into Chains on Sunday is kind of normal. So we've all grown used to that.
So when he comes out on the field, you're like, okay, Chains is here? Is that that's when you realize everything's going to work out for the best?
There's no doubt. When I asked him to break the team down, he's referred to as Chains on Sunday. On Wednesday, it's Kirk. And we go about our business moving forward.
I love it. Raheem Morris here on the Rich Eisen Show. Listen, you've been in a situation before in previous moments being an interim head coach in the middle of a season, and now you're taking on one right now. How do you even prepare for a team that has just fired their coach, and you pretty much don't know what might be tweaked or might be changed right now with the Saints, I'd imagine, Raheem, right?
It's something you obviously got to address with your football team, but you better go about your process. You better go about the way you move through every single week and get ready to play a team that's going to come in here with a renewed sense of urgency and ready to come out here and play for their coach and ready to play for their livelihood, so to speak. I talked about it with our local media that, everybody kind of making a TV show nowadays, but the reality of it is everybody there is going to have a new sense of urgency, a renewed energy, come out ready to play. Obviously, we did it here in Atlanta. Personally, I did it with these guys, and it's not fun, but you do get a little new energy. You do get a boost, and you go out and you're ready to play. And we better be ready because this team's going to come in here, a division rival, somebody that we're very familiar with, ready to play.
Yeah, this is absolutely the most underrated rivalry in the NFL. 100%. I know obviously Packers and Bears or Cowboys and obviously the Eagles are playing this weekend. A lot of us folk in the media talk about that a little bit more than this one. This is serious business when these two teams face one another.
Rich, to be flat out honest, we don't like them. They don't like us. And it's no secrets when it comes to those things. It went down even when I wasn't here last year to those guys scoring on their own, so to speak, on the last play of the game. So for us, man, it is not a well-liked team by us. We got so many similarities, styles of play, coaches, front office people going from the Saints to our organization and vice versa. So, yeah, we don't like each other. It's just pretty clean and pretty clear.
And it's
we definitely do respect each other, but we don't like each other.
Yeah, it's pretty cool that you say something like that. I don't think that's bulletin board material. They feel the same way about you. You might as well just talk about it. It's right out there,
It's well documented. Cam Jordan, I believe, he's still sacking Matt Ryan today, and it's well documented. I got so much respect for some of their players that when you're able to say these things, this is not coming from a place of negativity. It's coming from real life experiences on the grass, playing against each other, and going out there ready to play a really tough fought game.
Do you outwardly say, hey, when we go into the stadium, look around because we're coming back here, knowing the Super Bowl's there? Do you say something like that, Coach?
Honestly, Rich, you got to look at this thing from step by step, and you got to get ready to go. And I think the ultimate reality is if you don't have big dreams, you're not dreaming big enough. And we all have that dream. And a lot of us came into the season with the dreams of winning the Super Bowl. And a few of us right now put ourselves in position to actually go out there and obtain those goals. And we're one of those few. And we got to keep going out there and doing our business. And we're not going to run from the fear of dreaming big. We're going to absolutely attack it the way we wanted to do with the outrun the South, the way we want to do it with winning our division, the way we want to do it with getting into the playoffs, and then anything can happen. And once you do that, man, that's the plan. We want to be able to go back to the stadium twice.
Yeah, I mean, for sure you do, and you take a large step by going 5-0 in division. You will have already swept the Bucks and beating the Saints. You'd have swept them, and one more game left with Carolina, who I'm seeing here in Munich. So obviously that is something that's a step forward. A couple of young players I want to ask you about before I let you go on with the rest of your Friday. Bijan Robinson just strikes me as it's a surface scratch with him at this point in time. It looks like there's still more that we haven't seen yet from him, and he's been terrific. I'm wondering what you would say from your perspective, Coach.
Rich, he's such a talented player. He's such a great human. He is the definition of what a Falcon is. I talked about that last week in my press conference. He only has comparables with the guys that we're about to play in AK. He has comparables with Christian McCaffrey, who's coming back off injury. He has comparables with Saquon Barkley and some of the guys like that. And they have similar type stats they've done throughout the year. And he is so special to even be put in that category with those guys. It's what a great job our front office and the people before me to go out and really identify the human, the player, the guy you want on your football team. And he is absolutely going out there getting really comfortable in what we do and how we do it.
So if you compare him to Saquon, does that mean he also has a backwards leap in his playbook? Do we guys one of those? Have you seen that, Coach?
Let me tell you, it wouldn't shock me to see him do anything. Those kind of guys have that athleticism. Saquon is one of the best athletes I've seen in football. And watching Bijan all the way back to Texas, he's got a lot of athleticism in that body, so you just never know if he wants to pull out a backwards jump. I prefer he wouldn't, but you just never know with these instinctual players.
I'm sure. And then last one for you here. Again, I'm seeing Bryce Young here on Sunday for this game. He's now back from having been benched. Anthony Richardson, 4th overall selection, benched. And I know these aren't your tables. This is where I'm going with it. You've got a rookie quarterback sitting there, second string. And in this league, we're talking about developing guys and having the time and reps and snaps to develop guys. I mean, how do you develop somebody who is as talented and potentially crucially important to your team in Michael Penix Jr., going through a season where you're preparing for the New Orleans Saints and trying to win a Super Bowl at the same time. How do you pull something like that off in this day and age?
Rich, I was very fortunate when we got the job here and we sat down, all of us together, and we came up with our plan to go out there and get our quarterback for right now and the guy that we think can lead us to a Super Bowl. And we got a chance to go get Kirk. And he's done a lot of really good things, and he's leading that way. And then we're able to go get a guy that we felt like can be able to take over the reins whenever we would end this thing, and he'd be able to go right in there and be able to keep us in the point where we don't have to go through quarterback purgatory ever again. And he's done such a great job of learning from Kirk. He's done such a great job of mirroring Kirk. He's done such a great job of when called upon in practice to go execute. He's done all of those things. He's done everything we've asked. He's been a model citizen. He's been a student of the game. Just about everything you can do when it comes to developing and maturing him. And I know it was highly criticized, but it was the way we wanted to go about making sure we can develop our quarterback in-house and be ready to go whenever that time comes. And the only person that sets that time frame will be Kirk. And as long as he continues to play at the high level that he's playing, we won't have to worry about that, and neither will the world.
Well, you guys are crushing it, and I really appreciate you taking the time a couple days before a game for joining us here in my show in Germany, Coach. Appreciate it.
Hey, good luck out there in Germany, man, and get some sleep.
Thanks. You got it. That's Raheem Morris, the head coach of the current leaders of the NFC South Atlanta Falcons here on The Rich Eisen Show. Catch The Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.